everybody.
I'm Say.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Will. We are
Working Title.
Guys, we're back with another episode of Spy Family. It is episode 2, Secure Wife.
Relatable.
I know.
Very relatable.
We all need to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Last on, y'all, we got to meet little Anya, an orphan girl who can read minds.
Yeah.
Is that her real name? We don't know. Her temporary father figure, Forger? Lloyd Forger,
Twilight.
AKA Twilight.
is looking for a child to get up into a high position at a school so that he can save the world. Funny enough, though, the little girl happens to have also been made to save the world.
Yeah.
True.
Will the wife also be involved in saving the world? Because that would be a good trio.
That would be.
The 3.
Or a great way to put a divot right into a goal you need to accomplish if she's for the enemy.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just like you said.
Yeah.
So guys, if you enjoy our reaction, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and notification bell so you know when we drop more Spy Family reactions. Comment down below what you think about this new show. We know everybody's loving it so far. And we have a Patreon. If y'all want to support the channel in more ways than just watching, if you want to join our Discord, vote on what we're watching next, get some early access stuff, and be a part of our sponsor tier, hit the link in the description, check it out. It really helps us out.
It's been fun. We're watching Arcane, we're loving it. I'm getting to see Full Metal for the first time and they're guiding me through it. It's phenomenal. We're also watching Demon Slayer, which is so fun.
And we're on the road to 50K. You can help us get there. And it's not a market substitute. Go on whatever anime streaming service you prefer. Come back to YouTube. Watch your boys' reaction. Alright? We love you guys. Punch it.
Boom! Oh boy. Cowboy Bebop vibes.
Yes, it is, dude.
Whoa.
Damn!
There's our waifu.
See, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about.
It's not gonna work. Yeah, no. He just said it.
Yeah, he did.
He looks like a grandma.
He does.
うちに泥棒入ったかもって。なんか女の個人情報入った棚ばっか荒らされてたらしいよ。やばくない？犯人キモくない？それを夜先輩はどう思います？キモくないです。
Your.
There she is.
それ課長のコーヒー、鼻くそ入れちゃう？
Ew.
そう入れられればそれで十分です。でも先輩って27でしたっけ？気をつけないとダメです
These
よ。
girls are so
最
rude.
近スパイとか多い。近所の人から怪しいって通報されちゃったらしいですよ。
For what?
Just being suspicious.
超普通じゃん。
Maybe she just likes being single.
今週末うちでパーティーパートナーとご一緒に。
Oh, I don't have one. Well, lo and behold, you'll have to find one, right?
Well, and easily he will.
Yeah.
He will.
そうですよ、失礼ね。
そろそろ結婚とかどうなの？いい人いないの？
Jeez, man, everybody's pressuring her to get
実
married.
は僕、これまで以上に忙しく飛び回ることになりそうなんだ。でも今のままじゃ姉さん
This voice sounds so familiar.
今の僕があるのは姉さんのおかげだから感謝してるんだ。
分かってる。
Wonder what
あ
her
りが
brother
とう、
does.
ジュリー。実はね、週末パーティーに行くので
she's
す。も
gonna
ちろんパートナーと。
彼氏いたの？
そうなの。だから安心して。
She lied.
She's gonna have to find one.
それ聞いてどんな人だったか教えてもらおうっと。
Which means she does have to go get one.
ろくでもないやつだったら追っ払わないと。
Nice.
ことしなくても
So I
大
wonder
丈夫。
how they'll actually like run into each other.
Yeah. Like, how is he gonna find this girl? That's what I want to know.
And he was already over here. What business do they work in that he would be looking for women's files over here?
Well, that's his other task, is looking for a wife.
So you're just looking through every girl profile,
That's
every
crazy.
job market,
Probably.
every hotel.
なんとかしていい人を。
こんばんは。お客様が入りました。
Thorn Princess.
Right. I knew that was her
ロイ
name.
ヤルホテル。号室です。
I was gonna say,
Is
where's
she,
like an assassin?
貸し切りとなってまして
Wait, what?
誰か女頼んだかそう
I mean, I guess I should have suspected she was more than what she was leading on, but her personality was so believing. What?
Yeah, she's an
Whoa,
assassin.
what the?
Damn, she fooled me, and I know the show is called Spy Fam.
しくなのです。息のね、止めさせていただい
She's
て
an
も
awesome
よろし
fit.
い
Whoa. She does, dude.
Great apparel that can also form as weapons,
コードネーム茨城
aka Thorn
今は
Princess.
殺し屋
Oh,
どうしましょう。
Slice it off.
これしか持ってないのにパーティーに行けない。
She just murdered a room full of people and was worried
Wow,
about going to a
that's-
party.
それはないわね。
maybe they'll run into each other on the same mission.
女のリストコピってきたよ。
助かる
入り好みしてないのにデートすらかなわんって。
Yeah.
かわいそう
How unfortunate.
こすれ人気ない？
心配せずにテレビでも見てろ
Okay.
She's so adorable.
この女諜報員とか使わない
That's what I was wondering about. Surely there has to be agents, right?
A lot of them got caught recently.
今密告ブームだからな。
Telling people out his in.
別の任務が俺のところに回ってきた
That's what all those women were talking about.
ですので、お嬢様はこちらへ。
The big
してたら占い
If you be
覚えてくるんだ
Oh my, it's all your kid to shut up.
なかなかうまくいかない
in walks in.
Oh, the seamstress to get her dress fixed. Come on, Lloyd. Put the moves on.
A spy.
あった夜ブライヤー27歳
Damn, he just knew that.
Yeah.
That photographic memory we saw last
年
episode.
が離れた
何かご用ですか？
What?
バカな視線まで気取られた綺麗な方だなと思って
Is it the little girl?
それは私の容姿に好感をお持ちということで。
まあはい
And that's because she needs to get a guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's trying to make her moves, both for their own intents.
こすれだった。危うく人様の配偶者をお誘いしてしまうところでした。そういった行為は奥様に殺される。
Jeez. She can read her mind.
私なら誰かに殺し屋だと見抜かれる。
Oh my god.
普通の人にならなくては。
This is perfect.
Yes.
思ったがやめておこう
このよくはパーティーで恋人役をと思いました。
Dude, I
修
love
羅
the
の
little
夜
girl.
回避せねば。
I love
Anya.
Anya.
She's so
I love
smart.
Anya, man.
From mom. Oh.
奥様はご一緒で。
Genius little manipulator.
今は男手だけでこいつを
She's
育て
so funny. Such so perfect.
わかりました引き受けましょう
I love that she doesn't even have like spy intent to be with him. She just simply wants to appease her brother and
Yeah.
the girls that she works with.
Yep.
というわけでして
Where he wants
代わりに私
her
は
literally for a
面接
mission.
時の母親役を頼みたい
母親ですか。
先の見えないこの時代娘にはどうしてもいい学校
Oh
に
my
入って
gosh, I
もらい
love
た
the
い
weaving of this.
それは亡き妻の意志でもあるのです
父嘘つき。
Papa's a liar.
っていい人。
お釣りケロ毎度ケロ
Why is he saying ribbit?
It's the spy.
いや
Yeah.
F1 号か
Remember Meow from last
Yeah.
episode?
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's how they communicate. Oh, look at that secret
関
message.
連の詳細かというわけでパーティーに間に合わせるために速攻で手伝い
待て待て俺はただの情報屋であって
He's gonna run into the girl here, and they're both gonna have to go to the party after.
総額300万
俺に任せる
Leave it to me.
新たなスパイグッズを発明した小僧で
便利なやつ
He's so useful.
事故など起こしていないというですが。
Oh, Jesus. Oh. Who are you working for?
38
38 of them. 2, 4, 6. Oh, 38. Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoa.
I love how simplistic that
Yes.
cartoon animation
Yes.
looks.
I
偽装の時に使うんだ
Hey, hey, hey!
Oh shit.
Oh God. Oh.
Oh shit.
Okay. Oh fuck.
Well, horrible, awful accident.
Go away.
ドミニクさん。
ユーリ君いつも夜さんのこと心配してたからさ
Yuri's friend, right?
Yeah.
弟にはその。
どこまでして見え張りたいんですか先輩余計惨めに
I
見え
hate
ま
this
すよ
girl.
Yeah.
遅
Camilla's a dick.
勝手に喋んな。
Why not?
The eyes are awesome. She has red eyes
Yeah, man.
of a Sith.
この上の子。
Yes.
危険なのよ。名門イーデンの。すごい。
Damn, she's missing out.
あれがきっと普通。
Bro, there's no such thing as normal.
Come on,
申し訳
Lloyd.
ありません。私ここで置いてます。
Oh!
遅くなり申し訳ない。夜の夫のロイド・フォージャーです。
He's got blood all over.
Husband.
精神科医の仕事に
He's a doctor.
です。
Or something like that.
楽しみに
Psych. Okay.
嘘でしょ。あ、夜先輩結婚してたの。嘘嘘。夜にこんなスマートイケメン旦那がいるわけない。
Yes.
夜
No.
Wow.
No, no, no,
fucking-
don't do that.
Slap it in their face. That's shrimp too. Oh, she is spy. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, burn your nose. That's what you get.
食べ物を大切にするの。
何でしたっけ？男の人に呼ばれてホテルとか。
See, I figured that she was playing as like a prostitute.
Yeah.
それは鍼灸マッサージと歌った視察の仕事。違うんですロイドさん。私。
素敵です。
What?
幼い弟を養うために必死で頑張ってきました。
Yeah, she's a good
自
lady,
分を犠牲にしてまで
even though she assassinates people.
Yeah.
誰かのために何かのために過酷な仕事に耐え続けることは何の覚悟でも務まりません。それは誇るべきことです。
Yeah,
She's
man.
gonna fall for him.
Yeah, man.
I'm falling for him. Let's be real.
ごちそうさまでした。
夫などと
Is it already over?
弟
Yeah.
に伝わったら
Really?
何と言い訳をすれば
We didn't even get the halfway mark, did we? Is there no like?
There wasn't.
Oh shit.
They're gonna have to learn soon, y'all.
三井組織の残党
Yeah, they're gonna have to learn. I love this. See the assassin at work.
患者のヒステリーがまだ
Still
収まっ
haven't
てなかった
recovered.
Another psychotic episode.
Damn.
いいのですか？患者さんを殴ったりして。
それ
This
は
is so bad,
近
dude.
年の医学界ではオーダ療法というのが最先端で
The latest.
This is fiction.
お分か
I'm
り
glad they clarified that for
Yeah.
the audience.
He got a gun. Nice.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah.
実は私護身術が得意で弟に習ってそれで。
The foreplay, just
あ
share.
りがとう夜さん
Dang it,
すごい
man.
ですねあいつ吹っ飛んでました
That's what I was mind blown about. You were flying.
やりました。
Okay.
Yeah, psychotic episode, right?
Yeah.
Alright, do you think they're gonna be opposing forces though, or like in the same agency?
ロイドさん、こんな時になんですが。
She's not a spy. She's just like a freelance assassin.
What just happened?
Did we get married?
Okay.
はい
いいえ、交換条件のために殺しの仕事を続けていくためにも。
That's the point.
つまり、もしよければ面接の1回だけでなく、ちゃんと一緒になるのはどうかなと。
Aw.
お互いの。
そうだ
The sitter.
The ring. Oh.
Damn. Go find it.
やめる
There's your ring.
Yes, I was gonna say this is gonna be
There's
just
your
like
ring.
Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're doing their spy stuff as they're engaging with each other
Yeah.
or marrying each other.
Oh, he used the clip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Just kiss.
Until my mission, until my,
That's cool.
so until my mission, until my killing do us part. That was episode 2, y'all.
That's correct. That's our dyslexia. Scene
I
number
looked
3.
at the 3
It's
and I was
episode
like, that
3.
was a really solid episode 3.
Yep.
We secured the wife
Waifu is secured
in one of the greatest ways imaginable.
Yes.
during combat.
I love the subtext of how they had to come into contact with one another,
Yeah.
and how they both had their tasks, but how it works so well for like the future of them.
Yeah.
Very fun. Yor is really cool. Pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like her design.
Yeah.
I love the red eyes more than anything.
Yeah, the red eyes are awesome.
It's really cool.
She's got a cool, like, aesthetic. Like, the way she dresses is pretty cool, too.
And I'm curious to see more of her darker side because it was only like really glazed over today's episode.
Thorn Princess.
I want to know more about like how her demeanor shifts, if it does shift with the assassination persona. I mean, she's murdering people.
Yeah.
Very graphically, very briefly in this episode.
Yeah.
She's so sweet outside of it.
Well, also, like, what's the reasoning behind it, too?
Yeah.
Like, she said that, like, you know, her brother, when he called, was like, oh, you know, like, you've done so much to help me. I just want to make sure you're good. You're not as gullible. Like, I'm curious, like, does the brother know? What does the brother do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
I like her reasoning for wanting a guy. Just she wants to I guess impress her brother. I like that she doesn't have his mindset where he's like, oh, I can use her. She's like perfect for this. Where she's like, oh, this guy seems like he could be great for this. You know,
Still being used.
still being used, but it's not like. It doesn't sound like in a horrible way. Does that make sense?
I mean, to be
They're
fair,
both-
they're both not horrible. One's to save the world, if anything.
That is true.
But they're both using each other for selfish means.
Yeah.
Because he's using it so he doesn't get found out for this specific mission. She's using it so that she doesn't get reported for being a spy, so that she can keep doing her assassin job.
Yeah.
Like it is partially for the brother for that party specifically, but the continuation of their
So she could be an
relationship
assassin.
is so she can be an assassin.
Yeah.
So
I guess the bigger question is how big of a role her brother will play. Is there subtext to that as well? Like, what relation does he have? How much does he know about her?
yeah.
Because when there's one sibling involved in assassinations, there could be twins, there could be duo partnerships. It's good to take both children and brainwash them to become assassins.
She's a little brother, or he's a little brother.
Yeah.
Apparently. So, but yeah, like who knows how much he's really involved, aware, if not at all. But yeah, so the episode started with it started with Lloyd trying to figure out how he's gonna find a wife.
Yeah.
Because Frankie in a women's outfit is not gonna cut it.
No.
Grandma Frank. And
Appealing to some, not to most.
Grumman.
yeah. Then the Lloyd broke into. See, like, I don't really understand where exactly the place was. They flashed it really quick. It looked like.
Where they work, the girls?
Yeah, because they were like, oh, did you hear someone came and stole the file? Like, I'm guessing it's like a government building because it was the files of all single women in the country that they stole, essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought it was like hotel. It looked like just a hotel service, very briefly.
Well, how would they know about that?
Well, exactly. That's why I was like, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, initially when they showed it looked like almost like a government type of building, but then it flashed them like they were like the servants of the place, which
Well,
could
they
just
had-
be more old timey, you know.
That mixed with the fact that they were talking about how other people are being reported. Like, they have that news that there's like people are. What is that being? What is that for though? Who's abducting these people for suspicious?
They're
activity?
saying that they're spies. They're reporting them to the government. So like, oh, I think Adam's kind of sus because he's, you know, he doesn't ever actually have anything he's doing, and supposedly he's single, has no relations outside of work. Like, he must be a spy. So they report him, and then
So this is just a government. This is just a government that's very paranoid right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lloyd says later on in the show, like, yeah, like, that I can't. Or he said earlier when Frank's like, well, why don't you just pick one of your female spies?
A lot of them are getting
And
caught.
all of them are getting caught in this nonsense as well.
They ain't perfect.
Yeah. But Yor had gone home, talked to her brother, lied and said she had a boyfriend and that she was going to this party that her brother's friend is also going to. Her brother's friend is dating that Camilla
Yeah,
girl.
Dominic.
Bitch. Unfortunately. So Yor lied and said she has a boyfriend, so now her and Lloyd are both stuck in the same situation. They need a partner. Yor then gets a second call for the Thorn Princess specifically, that her services are needed in a hotel room. I definitely thought that she was just going to, like, her thing was going to be that she was, like, a prostitute at first. Because when they were like, oh, someone needs a massage at this hotel room, room 1100 or whatever.
Yeah, but then they use the name Thorn Princess.
I didn't know if it was some kinky shit. That's why I didn't know. I didn't know if that's what it was gonna be. But
Mrs. Smith, that's in that movie. She is a dominatrix. She kills that dude.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's not a big issue. I do want to watch it at some point because it feels like it would be so fun to watch Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie going up against each other.
It's a good movie.
You've seen it too?
Yeah.
Damn, I need to watch it.
It's a great movie.
But yeah, so she goes and then murders like this hotel, like 5 guards in this hotel room of a bunch of people. It was like some treasurer, so like
Cool.
some like appointed person.
Her weapons are like giant sewing needles.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Cool costume. Well,
Yeah.
or like attire. Like her head pieces too could easily be swapped for weapons, most likely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Reminded me a little bit of Layla from Moon Knight, like the attire being part of
Oh yeah,
your mercenary fit.
yeah.
A bit. So I'll be disappointed if Yor does not use those headpieces at some point to poke somebody's face out.
Probably will. But she murdered everybody with ease, stabbed in the back, the throat, very short. And her dress was ruined. So
Unbelievable.
it's her only nice dress, so she's got to go get it sewn.
Lo and behold.
Lo and behold, Anya doesn't look like she comes from a rich family, so they had to go get her clothes too. And that is where Lloyd and Yor finally make contact.
I love the interaction where, like...
Anya's reading their minds.
No, Lloyd is just, like, very minusculely looking over at her, and she's like, "Oh, are you staring at me?"
Yeah.
And he didn't detect her coming in. Like, all the little tell signs of spies picking up on other spies without them, like, saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Like, I love the naivety of the relationship. Do you think it's intentional and then it's just like foreplay if they don't want to admit to each other that they know who each other are?
They don't know.
Or they
Yeah.
seriously
Yeah.
don't know.
Lloyd is suspected in the beginning. He was good. Well, no, because Lloyd doesn't know because he's chalking it up that he's too relaxed because of Anya.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, because he said, "How did she sneak in and I didn't notice it?" He said,
too
and then he
relaxed.
goes, "I'm too relaxed, like recently."
Because of the girl
Because
Anya
of his
coming into
kid.
his life. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's like things that are like blocking them from realizing these very what I would assume would be common sense for a spy and an assassin to figure out about one another.
Yeah.
But they're like things that are like blocking them from having these little revelations, which makes it really funny because they realistically should be like the smartest of the smarts
Yeah.
in the room. So I love that little play.
Yeah. And then, they're both thinking like, "Oh, damn. I love how she was like, "Oh my god, he was married. I almost just asked him out and he's married." Like,
Because she can't account for the kid, like this random child.
yeah. And Anya just being like, "I can read their minds." She's like, "An assassin? A spy? This is perfect."
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had a mommy.
Oh,
I'm so lonely.
I don't have a
Mama.
in my life. It's so perfect, dude. But yeah, so they agree upon
Going to the interview
going to the interview and doing the date.
dinner party.
Then afterwards, Lloyd goes shopping, gets his next mission. So anytime he interacts with somebody and they give a animal sound, I guess that means
Watch out for the ribbit.
yeah, ribbit, meow. I'm sure we'll get a bark. You know what I mean? That's probably in the next episode. Roof.
Rawr.
But that is how they are able to like let them know, like, hey, you have a little secret in there. Then
His mission is to steal some art pieces.
yeah,
Take them back or something.
Yeah, steal art pieces from
78 of
smugglers.
them.
It was like 3 million. Whatever.
I wish I knew
dollars.
spy
Dalked.
language.
DALC. I've never heard of that.
I wish I knew the number breakdown. I think it was given a little piece of paper with all those little.
Oh,
I think that was code.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
it
I just
was.
wish I could know what it said
Oh, yeah.
specifically because he was getting all kinds of info from it.
yeah.
I just love that within a coin that most people wouldn't stick a needle in to pull apart. It's like a puzzle inside a puzzle. Like you have to know about it and then have to understand it. But
Yeah.
the only
It's cool.
people,
Spy stuff.
realistically, the only people who would know to look inside a coin would also be the ones to know the numbers too. Though.
But if the coin, like, what if you hit it and it like popped open by
Dropped it,
accident or
yeah.
something? Like,
It's true.
then it's like, what the hell is this?
It's just coding from a computer that printed out.
Yeah.
Get some water on the coin. It collects the water.
I wonder how often spies will go to places, find papers or receipts, and see numbers and think, "Is this supposed to be a message to me?"
Yeah, they read it and they're
I
like,
think they'd be smart enough to know the difference
You
between.
would think, but
You
today,
would think.
today Lloyd's not on his A game.
No, he's not.
he goes with his buddy
Frankie.
and they have a very funny, cool, weird styled, but I liked the simplistic fight sequence of them escaping. There was the one frame outside of the warehouse where like Lloyd was like jumping around all of them, but it looked like
It's supposed to be goofy.
yeah, well, you ever like watch The Incredibles during like there's like silhouette shots. I don't know if it's like the intro of the movie or the outro, but like they do like quick shots where you were only seeing the outlined stencil of them, but they do a little like with detailed fights. You graphically make sure every single shot is like stop motion, like it should realistically flow well. Where this is like here and here and here,
Mm-hmm.
like there's chopped pieces missing, but it looks so cool still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was cool how they did it.
The shots where he was doing spinning leg kicks and his legs were all the way out here.
Yeah, or exactly, where like the proportions get distorted and
Yeah.
bloated to like reach like a leg to hit a face or something. But you don't care too much because it's not supposed to be the main focus.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
He's late for the party.
Yeah, so they get away with the jewels. He keeps a ring for himself so he can use it later for their marriage.
He gets into an altercation with Frankie and they crash into some more smugglers.
Yeah. And then Yor doesn't feel like waiting any longer. She thinks that he's given up on her, so he goes to the party. She goes to the party alone.
Very mean lady ridicules her in almost every way imaginable.
Amelia,
Yeah.
Whether it be, oh, she doesn't have a boyfriend, oh...
She's definitely a spy.
Stay away from my man.
Oh, all this nonsense. But yeah, she then talks to Dominic.
What was the birth rate comment you got?
Yeah, what was that?
She said that, like...
She was brought here to lower the country's birth rate?
Yeah, they were just like gossiping in like the worst way.
Oh,
yeah,
like,
just like
fuck.
because she's older and she's not having a kid. They're like, oh, they brought her to this country to like lower the population and lower the birth rate in this country. It's like, dude, what an asshole! Like,
I didn't know being in your late 20s was being old.
I mean, in fairness, seems like it's supposed to be like 1950s. So, not that that's
Getting
old, but
married
that
early.
is old for not having kids back in the day. Can't even imagine.
But the girl, Camilla,
Yeah.
Yes,
complete asshole.
just a jerk.
Even
Horrible.
going as far as like once proven that she has a guy, goes and like tries to ruin him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And, like, tries to spill it on him.
Yeah.
I love that she like does her little assassination kick. And he's like, hey, it's very improper, but good skills.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
No, it was. I like that you don't want to waste food.
Oh,
But I don't think it was good for you to use your feet.
Yeah,
That-
that was a cool problem.
That mixed with him coming in with blood on his face.
Yeah.
I'm a psychiatric doctor, or what it was?
A psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
What?
dealt with a patient with a psychotic episode. That's what he kept saying. That was his story.
Such an odd cover.
Yes, it
He
is.
just had a doctor, and I forgot to clean off myself
Right.
or something. I don't know.
Very
That was just
Well, it
like-
works when the crazy people start attacking you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, they're just having more psychotic episodes. Somehow found us.
I love that no one cared or mentioned the blood. They were just concerned by how attractive he was when
Yes.
he came in.
Well, the guy mentioned it originally, Dominic. He was like, you're covered in blood. Are you all right?
Yeah. Camila was the one who was like, "How's he so hot?"
Yeah, how is
Cannot
this so
stand for
gorgeous?
this.
Um,
They left.
Yor also tried getting Dominic to lie for her, but Camilla was like, no, I will tell him the truth. I'll tell your brother the truth no matter what. She's just being snotty brat, typical, like,
Annoying.
evil person.
And he messed up. Lloyd messed up the plan. He said that they're married and not dating.
Yeah, he mixed up his mission with her mission,
Yeah.
essentially.
Camila's just essentially that atypical like high school bully from every
She's a mean
Disney
girl.
star
Yeah.
from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
She's a typical mean girl.
Yeah.
But
Hopped in the car.
Yor and Lloyd left the party
After he defended her
after he
in
defended
front
her.
of everyone.
Oh, yeah,
that was
good.
really
that was
sweet.
really sweet. Like,
Yeah.
clever too.
well, he also was like thinking of himself in that too.
Yeah, he
Just, like,
was.
all the times he's had to sacrifice his life and do really horrible things for like the betterment of like people.
And it
so-
sold the pitch well to her too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I
She
think
was
she
it's
kind
probably
of felt,
truthful.
She was swooned.
I think she kind of felt she felt something for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she started to realize how good it was, like how good this like deal would work out if it could be long term.
Yeah.
And while she's not a sex worker necessarily, she is a assassin. So I'm sure that to some degree she has maybe resentment for the things she's had to do for the betterment of humanity. So his interpretation of that would be very appealing.
Yeah. But then they got in the car, started to drive away. Smugglers caught up with them. You know, they both show off their fighting moves and are like, "Oh, did you just hit one of your patients? Oh, it's the latest in modern medicine. It's a concussive blow to help." Fiction.
Damage the brain. I love that. This is fiction.
Clarifying for the audience, don't try this at home.
Oh, man.
And then the girl, you know, doing her kicks, showing her self-defense that she's learned from her brother.
I'm not an expert. And he goes, do you know how far you just kicked that guy? He went flying. That was impressive.
I did love the ending, though.
Yeah.
We're going to go back and we're going to sign our papers now. Why wait? I just love that she also, like, took it the step further. Like, hey, you said, husband, like, why don't we just stay with this deal?
Mm-hmm.
And it would like make our agreement go longer, but like it would help me, it would help you, it would be beneficial. I love how quick he was down. Like I just love how perfect the alignment is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it just suits them both so well, but low key there also might be the hidden romance that could also stem, which would make it more fun later in the show when if they actually fall in love, and it turns out they're not on the same page, then it's gonna make it all the more complex.
Well, I feel like something that will most definitely happen is that she is going to get ordered to assassinate the agent known as Twilight.
Yeah.
Like that's probably what's going to end up happening is that like,
she has to figure out who Twilight is.
and then she finds out it's Lloyd
while she's living with Twilight.
Yeah. So
I mean the most typical spy story, but it makes it super fun.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm sure that's how this story's going to go.
I would like it to throw it on its head, though. I feel like it's almost too predictable, and because people are hyping up the show, I kind of want to see if they can curveball any of that. I wouldn't be against it just being that, but I would like to see if they can curveball that story plot of it, just because we are already guessing at episode 2.
True.
I was thinking, what if her brother Yuri is like both their boss? Because we haven't seen him. We've just heard a voice from them, giving them orders.
If he was actually a spy and she didn't know it.
Yeah.
Brother's a code word. I like that. Also, like we were saying with Death Note too, just how like the pacing of this is so fast. What they could do to not make it too stereotypical is not, instead of let that be the build up and it happens like 10 episodes from now, let it happen in like 2 episodes from now. So we still get that excitement of your typical spy story.
But there's more to it.
There's so much more to come after. That would be also fine.
I wanted to bring up Death Note when you mentioned the coin. Who would think that?
Nothing. I will say the only thing I didn't like about the episode, but it's so tiny, but I might as well just throw one piece of criticism. I didn't like the outro just playing across the screen. It's too distracting.
Yeah, it was distracting.
Distracting for
my
eyes.
Another thing that I don't like is we are getting their inner dialogue, and then we're also seeing the stuff that they're talking about on top of it. I can't focus on both tabs. Even though it is short, it's not. You don't really need to pay attention to it. I still don't like it.
They do it. They've done it in the other animes we watched.
I don't like it in AOT either. They do it in AOT when the episode's like really important.
JJK's the worst.
They've all
full blown conversations happening twice.
I just know AOT on those episodes that were like really like mood setting. They didn't want to like have bunny na 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 when it's like genocide occurring. Like they start off slow, but it like plays over top the imagery, and it's like, you're killing. I want to look at these beautiful images without like it being covered up by 20 names.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where also like part of it is like, if it was an American show and an English show, we wouldn't have to read it because like every time in an English show when that's happened, I just don't, because it's like muffled, because you can even tell like the conversation they were having was muffled and you could hear like Lloyd's voice more.
Yeah,
that's why the only thing that sucks is for like a foreign audience is you have to figure out quickly which one is the dumb conversation not to pay attention to and which is the actual thought part.
When they do it on the top and the bottom, you have to
Yeah. Well, that's what he was saying. He was like not super fond of, because they do it all the time. And we've watched stuff like we watch stuff outside the channel that's in English that does it, but like they just like it's like they take it to like 40%, so you can't even hear it. It's like muffled. It's like, yeah, man, I just had some coffee and.
I actually think that was.
I really think about destruction of humanity all the time.
Yeah, I actually thought that was relatively tolerable for this episode. I thought I was able to read it better because I knew that they were going to put the not important text at the top. So I did not read what she was quietly saying. I was only listening to what his inner monologue was at the bottom.
Yeah.
So that was easy for me, but it's been tricky for some of our other shows where they've done that before.
Well, I think also some shows we've seen they've like flopped them.
And that's
I can think of Yuri and talking to Kenny.
Literally,
horrible.
I was gonna say when Kenny meets Yuri in season 3, and there's like it's Kenny talking twice. It's his subconscious,
and then him threatening,
which is the
Yuri.
more important, and then threatening at the top. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I think they did that for that day in AOG too.
It was really bad.
Because they were transcribing like what was on paper in historical records while you're also supposed to read. I'm like, I cannot do all this. This is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Unless I have to go frame by frame, which we did for that reaction.
Yeah.
Great episode though. Loving the show.
It's so I'm excited for this show. It's good.
Yeah. Well, question, because we actually skipped over it. What do you think about the intro?
Oh, it was cute.
You nailed it with the Cowboy Bebop. How do you?
You showed me the first episode, Adam. Many years ago.
You can remember the intro?
You have your things you remember. I have things I remember.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. I love the jazz.
The music too.
It fits the time period. Where are we? Where would you guess we are? Europe?
I'm gonna just say this. The first animation so far that looked straight up like a cartoon from like an American TV series. The intro. Like the way that Anya was designed. She looked like not Billy and Mandy like a little kid's drawing, but she looked so different from your typical anime look. At least in anime I have consumed. Yeah. It was cool though.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. And they actually when they flipped from like the artsy animation to like the real animation where they showed like, well, first they showed the cool shot of Lloyd and Thorn Princess Yor. That was cool. But when they showed, there was like one where they showed him leaning back and shooting and her leaning back with like the knives. They both had like sparkles on their clothing. It was weird. They just added like a depth to their clothing that looked really cool.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't know. It was just one of the like random animation things. Like, oh, I've never really seen that before.
I'd have to watch it again too.
Yeah, me too.
There's so many colors flying at us.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying the show a lot. I'm with you. I hope they flip that on its head, the whole, because it's pretty much, we could see it from a mile away. I mean, granted, the whole Anya thing kind of throws all this for a loop that she can read minds, but I hope that like they either get it done quick and there's more to the story, or it's just not what we're going to expect at the end of the day.
Which for a spy show, I would expect even more. Like, I don't want to know what's going to happen next, even though like there are typical spy story things that we can pick up on.
Yeah.
I want this show to turn it on itself.
Yeah, I'm good.
Y'all, if you made it this far, do us a favor and timestamp this so we know that you made it through our whole entire video. Like this video, subscribe if you can do so. We're on the road to 50K, so we appreciate all the newcomers, but we want you to stay with us for the long haul. We're going to be doing this whole series, and other series come in the future. Check out the Patreon if you want to see some of our videos weeks in advance, and we will see you at episode 3, the interview. Punch it!
Bam!